All right. So part two of one of my testimonies. If you haven't seen the first part, go see it. It's on my page. But anyways, so my ex, the person I was with at the time, had just said, do you want to go to church? And I sit up and I look forward, and the church that we attended was in front of us. So I look at the clock and service hadn't started yet. I'm unshowered, not dressed. And I said, I think it was about 20 minutes before service started. So I said, yeah, I just need to change my clothes. So we pull into the parking lot and I grab me some clothes and I get dressed. And we go inside. And the bishop that normally gives the sermon was not speaking. It was a different gentleman, and everyone's sitting down, and he starts out and he says, he's like, before I begin, I need to give everyone a towel. And he's like, I'm passing out these white spiritual towels. And he's acting like he's throwing out these towels. He's like, you get a towel, this and that. And everybody's catching their towel. And I catch my towel. And he says, okay. He's like, now you have two options. You have two options that you can do with this towel. And he said, you can wave your white towel and throw it in. You can throw in the towel and you can give up. You can be done. He said, or you can use that towel and you can wipe your face and keep going. And I just started to cry because just not 10-15 minutes before that, I told God, and I very much meant it. I mean, I had already practiced before and I was set, and then there was this gentleman that was giving me this towel and giving me a decision. And he said, I know it's dark right now. And he said, but you still have 3 months left in this year. And he was like, and God's going to change it by the end of the year. By December 31st, you are going to have a whole new life. So wipe off your face and keep going. So I kept going. And November came, and there were still some hardships. Got arrested for the first time, falsely, but went to jail. Fought, but just before Thanksgiving, I was sleeping in my car at a gas station, and the father of my kids drove up and had seen me sleeping in the car. And he sat there until I woke up. I don't know how long he was there for. But I wake up and I see him sitting there. My heart drops. And he said, I have the boys with me and they want to see you. So I get out and my boys get out and I hug them so tight. And, tell them I love them, tell them I miss them, tell them I'm sorry. And then you know, my baby daddy got out and started talking to me and asking me, what do you need? Like, forget everything, forget everyone. He's like, I'm talking me to you right now. What do you need from me? And I was like, I don't know. And I had nothing else to say. I don't know. I don't know what I need right now. And he said, well, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? I was like, I don't know. And he was like, well, why don't you come with me and the kids to your mom's? Now, I hadn't talked to my mom this whole time. And at this point, this was 4 months, 3 months, 3.5 months, something like that. And I hadn't talked to her at all. I hadn't seen her. And I was like, I don't know. He's like, come on. He's like, I know that, she'd like to see you. So I go to Thanksgiving and I saw everybody. It was great. By December, I had stopped dealing with the other person, and my baby daddy invited me over for Christmas Eve to decorate the Christmas tree with the kids and to be able to spend Christmas together with them. And I did. And by December 31st, I had a whole different life. And I just had to keep going. This year has been a lot of healing and a lot of forgiving of other people, not just other people, right? Because there was a lot of wrongdoings. There was a lot of assumptions that were given about me. There were a lot of lies that were told about me. But there was a lot of thankfulness for all of it. Like, it sucked, it sucked to have to go through everything, but I'm thankful for it because this year I am so different than I have ever been, and my relationship with God is closer than ever before. And I know that he's always been there. I mean, the whole time that I was out in the streets, like, I talked to him all the time, and I would listen to these certain songs all the time, and just, I leaned on him. I allowed him to carry me because I just didn't have the power to do it anymore. But I had to lay down my sword, and I had to forgive myself. And that was one thing that I've learned to do this year, because just because you're not where people expect you to be, you're not where you think you should be, does not mean you are not exactly where you're meant to be. There's a reason why everything happens, good and bad. Sometimes the things we go through are to show others how to make it through. Sometimes it's to show what happens if you don't do something, or you do something this way versus this way. We're teaching one another if people choose to listen to the lesson and learn it. So I think God wanted me to give this testimony because maybe you're going through something similar. But there's something within this message that you're supposed to hear. If it finds you and you resonate with any of it, or something sparks in your mind or hits home or whatever you want to call, you are meant to hear it. And it may be for you, or it may be for someone you know who's going through it, or something that needs for them to hear. So share it. Be that savior. Show that compassion, because compassion, the smallest amount, can save someone's life. I promise you that. And God is with you. He is with every single one of us. And you don't have to go to church all the time. You don't have to know the Bible. You just have to be willing to lay your sword down and follow him. Listen to